Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about modesty and beauty. So let's dive right into it. What is the definition of modesty? And I'm going to read a few things for you guys today. Number one, the quality or state of being unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities. Then the ability of being relatively modest, limited, or small in amount, rate, or level, or behavior, manner, or appearance intended to avoid impropriety or indecency. Now, the opposite of modesty is often considered to be arrogance. So modesty includes a humble view of oneself or one's accomplishments. The opposite is arrogance, involves an inflated sense of one's own importance, abilities, or achievements. Now, vanity. Modesty also includes not drawing attention to oneself, particularly in terms of appearance. Now, vanity is expressive pride and admiration of one's own appearance and achievements. The opposite of modesty, in other words, we can say it's a boastfulness, egoism, conceit, pretentiousness. These traits often involve overemphasis on self, pride, and lack of humility. What does the Bible teach us about modesty and beauty? Let's go through the 6 points that I'm going to present to you guys about what the Bible talks about beauty. So, inner beauty over outer beauty. The Bible always emphasizes the importance of inner beauty and character over physical attractiveness and physical appearance. And I'm going to read 1 Peter 3:3. It says, "Do not let your adoring be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on gold jewelry or the clothing you wear, but let your adoring be in hidden person of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious." Number 2, modesty in appearance. Modesty is highlighted as a virtue in the Bible, and in 1 Timothy 2:9 it says, "Likewise also that women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel with modesty and self-control." Again, talking about inner character, not with braided hair and gold or pearl costly attire. That does not mean to wear beautiful jewelry or beautiful clothes is wrong, but the Bible always emphasizes and tells us that the priority and the true beauty comes from the inside, not from the outside. We all seen those people who look so beautiful and perfect in jewelry and gold and those expensive clothing, but their inside, they are dying or they have a bad character, and that actually really corrupts the whole beauty, the whole effort that they're putting on themselves. Number 3, purity of the heart. The Bible teaches that beauty comes from the purity of our heart. In Matthew 5, it stresses that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And this idea that is moral and spiritual purity is utmost importance, right? Number 4, love as a core of beauty. The Bible teaches that love is central to true beauty. 1 Corinthians 13, it says, "Without love, everything else is insignificant." And the Bible says, "If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have no love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal." Number 5, humility and modesty. The Bible commends the virtue of humility and modesty, portraying them as beautiful qualities. Proverbs 11, it says, "When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble there is wisdom." Number 6, godliness is beautiful. The Bible encourages believers to pursue godliness. In 1 Timothy 4:8 it says, "For while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise of the present life and also for the life to come." What a beautiful verse, right? Aspects that are commonly associated with modesty in clothing. Number 1, coverage. Modest clothing often covers more of the body than contemporary styles. And we all know that, everything that's in style mostly is not modest. This includes covering like the shoulders, arms, legs, and chest in various degrees in various cultures. Number 2, loose fitting. Modest clothing is often looser rather than tight or form-fitting. It is designed not to draw attention or to show the shape of your body, okay? Simplicity. Modesty can also extend to a simplicity of clothing, avoiding excessive amounts of jewelry, flashy and attention-seeking colors and styles. We know that where there is simplicity, you can actually kind of like see the person rather than what the person is trying to portray and draw attention to. Number 4, respect for context. And this one, I believe, is very important. Modesty also involves dressing appropriately for different situations. For example, what might be appropriate to go to the beach might not be appropriate, obviously, to go to work or to the service, worship service. And I've seen many, many women and girls miss that one. And the argument they present is, I just want to be myself, the same everywhere. But look at this. When you go to the hospital, you expect the doctors and nurses to wear a certain attire, to wear certain clothing. You would not expect a doctor to come to you in swimming shorts or a bikini, correct? You would run from that place. You'd be like, no, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate to the occasion. And I believe we have to dress as, especially as women, and always think about where are we going, and wear clothing, choose outfits consistent with where we're going. And number 5, intention. This one is big as well. The intention behind the choices of clothing is an essential aspect of modesty. It's not just about clothing, but also the attitude and respect towards yourself and others. Modesty is also subjected to culture. The definition of modesty can differ from culture to culture, but generally speaking, modesty is to cover and not to reveal in any given culture. But there are differences, and I'm going to bring my personal example. I remember I went to Nigeria to one church. We traveled there many times, and in our Western culture, to wear knee-length skirt is absolutely appropriate, and so that's what I did. I wore a skirt revealing my lower part of my legs, and I come to Africa, to Nigeria, and that's my personal observation. Now, I might be wrong, but this is what I've noticed because I've been there 3 times. And women there, most of them, honestly, all of them, from what I've seen, they wear long skirts, long dresses. But what's interesting is that most of them, they reveal their chest widely. And that is okay for that culture. And even in the church, it seemed to be okay, but none of them revealed their legs. I'm not talking about legs higher than your knee, but like, your ankles or your calves. And that was very interesting. And I wore my heels, and none of them were dressed in a shorter skirt. They were all longer skirts. And I was like, wow, that's nice. But to me, I was surprised to see open chest, which when you come to our Western culture, you go to church, usually women do not reveal this part of their body. And that is one of the cultural differences of what's acceptable in the culture. And I think we need to consider that as well. I believe we cannot come into the culture where something considers to be inappropriate and say, you know what? No, I will ignore your cultural rules. I'm just gonna be myself and do what I want. Honestly, that will be considered a big disrespect. We have to respect the culture we're in, but also being aware of the secular culture and Christian culture. These are 2 different things. We must always desire to please the Lord in everything we do and everything we wear. So things that might be acceptable to wear in secular culture in the West here, they are not necessarily modest or respectable in the eyes of God. Choose modest outfits. Intention matters. It's not just about what you wear it also why you wear it. And I think this is big because many people, many women, they can dress out of insecurity, drawing attention. Maybe that is even subconsciously. They're doing that because they want to be perceived in certain way. They don't want to be rejected, or they want to draw attention, or whatever that might be. I think we have to dress appropriately and not out of our insecurities, and with a good intention. Now, respect your body. Our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, it says that we have to treat our bodies with respect. It includes dressing in a way that honors your body. How I personally choose my outfits. Number one, I always ask myself, who am I? Okay, you must ask yourself a question. Who are you? If you consider yourself a Christian, if you consider yourself a daughter of God, you have to choose your outfit appropriately. Number two, second question I ask myself, where am I going? And that will determine a lot of what I'm planning to put on myself. If I'm going to the park, I can wear shorts. If I'm going to church, obviously I'm not going to wear shorts. And we're not being legalistic. I don't like legalism when it comes to clothing. We all know that the Lord looks on our heart and not on the outer appearance. But what we wear can also disrespect people, yourself, or even God. Number three, I ask myself, what am I going to do there to the place that I'm going? And that will determine what kind of clothing I'm going to choose. If I'm going to be, for example, on a stage, I have to look more presentable, more celebrational. If I'm just going for attending a service where I'm just going to be sitting, and not participating on a stage, I'm going to maybe dress down a little bit. Okay, number four, do I feel myself? Am I comfortable? My biggest thing is I have to always feel myself and being comfortable. But you have to also feel yourself and ask those questions. Does it look appropriate? Because many women, they feel themselves when they wear very inappropriate tight clothing because they're used to that. But when we're talking about modest clothing, it has to be in the perimeters of godly clothing that covers, not reveals, that is comfortable and not uncomfortable. For example, for me, my biggest thing is I choose clothing that is comfortable. Okay, even when I go to for example, to the big celebration, a wedding, and I have to put like extra attention to my outfit and maybe wear higher heels or whatnot, I am still going for comfort because there's nothing more beautiful than a woman who feels comfortable in her clothing and also makeup. I've seen ladies who wear certain clothing that restrict them. They can't move. They're like robots just because they are afraid to smudge their makeup. And I cannot stand that. And I've been there. We are women. I've learned that. I have to be comfortable. It's always more attractive. And people want to see you being a human being. They don't want to see you be this like person who's afraid to like the skirt is like unwalkable or your makeup is over there that you're like afraid to smile. That's not attractive, ladies. You have to be comfortable in your clothing, okay? And lastly, try to never go for looking hot. Guess what's gonna happen? If you gonna go for looking hot, that's what the culture goes for. We have to go for looking beautiful. If we go for looking hot, we're gonna attract wrong people. If we go being beautiful, we will attract the right people. We will attract people who will respect us, who will want to get to know us as people, and who will want to look in our eyes, not somewhere else in our body. So these are my few cents. And like I said, it's not a legalistic thing, but looking appropriate and right to the occasion, pleasing the Lord is what we want to go for. I hope you enjoy this content and I'll see you later.